friends, welcome back to Call Me After Coffee. My name is Bree. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been around for a while, thanks for coming back. Today I'm going to be doing my middle grade March possibility pile. I did not do very good at my own readathon. I was actually just so busy in February. I was just so busy. Anyway, I am excited for middle grade March. I have a pile of middle grade books here, but I'm going to jump right into these. First book that I have here is Echo Mountain by Lauren Woke, and I am really excited about this one. This one is set in the Depression. Our main character is a little girl. I can't remember what her name is, but as far as I know, there's some sort of like family tragedy, something like that. I think something happens to her father and they end up having to move out into the mountains because they, I guess, can't afford to stay where they are. So this family has to move out into the mountains, and I believe this little girl is largely blamed for whatever the accident was that happened. I don't know a lot more of the plot. I don't really need to. It's historical fiction, and I tend to love historical fiction, and it's middle grade, so it fits for middle grade March. The next possibility that I have here is The War I Finally Won by Kimberly Baker Bradley. Oh my goodness. Sometimes things are so hard to say, and I'm never gonna let it go because every single time it's a struggle. But anyway, this is book 2 to The War That Saved My Life, and I don't really know if we're following more of Ada. Like, I assume we're following more of Ada, but I don't know if she's more of the focus or her brother gets a little bit more focus. I'm not sure. I assume we're still following Ada and it's just furthering her story, but I'm really excited. I didn't even read the back of this because I don't really want to know anything going into it. I loved the first one, so I have no apprehensions about whether or not I'll love this one, and I haven't heard anybody say anything negative, to my knowledge, about this one. So I'm excited to get to this one. It's also a World War II historical fiction, although I don't know if this one is still set during the war or if this is set after the war. But regardless, this is historical fiction. It's middle grade. I love historical fiction, and thanks to Katie and Krista opening my eyes a couple years ago, I also refound my love for middle grade. So this is the next book on my pile. So the next book I have on the pile here is Until Tomorrow, Mr. Marsworth by Sheila O'Connor. I have what I like to call a Katie made me do it, because Katie talked about this book so much that I had to go over and buy it. Katie made this book sound so good, so good. So I had to obviously pick up a copy, and then I didn't read it when I got it. And I don't remember, it hasn't been that long. Like, it hasn't been years or anything. I don't even think it's been out for that many years. But anyway, she made it sound so good. I believe that it's written all in letters, which I feel like is going to make it, or at least mostly in letters. What is that called? Epistolary? Is that the right word? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the word. I think it's an epistolary, I think that's the word, novel between this little girl and this older man, and they exchange letters, and I love this like dynamic. I love old people in books. I love them. I don't know if Mr. Marsworth is grumpy or not, but if he starts out grumpy and gets all soft, like, that is right up my alley. And if he's just lonely and they're just talking back and forth, I love that too. I love letters in books. So I am really excited to hopefully get to this one, because I feel like it's going to be a really quick one to get through, especially if it's in letters. But like I said, I don't know a lot about this one, except it is some type of friendship between these two people exchanging letters. And I feel like, from what Katie said, it's going to very much warm my heart. And then next we have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I read the first Harry Potter book, I want to say like last April maybe? I don't remember exactly when, maybe it was May. Sometime last spring, I think. I read the first book, and then I ordered the next two, and then I never got to them. So I want to read the second book. I've heard it's one of the harder ones to get through, like it's not the best. But I have a feeling I'm still gonna like it. I really enjoyed the first one, and I have the first, second, and third, so I need to keep going and get the next. I think there's like 4 more, but I'm trying to like space out when I order books, and trying not to order so many more books this year because I need to read off my shelves. But anyway, this is the second book in the Harry Potter series. I feel like I don't really need to talk about this one. I think everybody pretty much knows what Harry Potter is about now, so I feel like this one doesn't need a lot of talking about. But anyway, this is another possibility on the pile. And then I have a Christmas present that I got from my friend Kirsty, and this is Frost Heart by Jamie Littler. I kind of forget what this one is about now. I think he doesn't know he's magical, and then he gets his powers, something like that. It sounds really adorable. I've heard really, really good things about this. It's technically still cold, like it's still cold out today. There's still snow out today. So that's why I decided to throw this on the possibility pile. Maybe by March it will actually warm up in Canada and I won't feel like I'm living in an ice storm. But I have a feeling this is going to be really adorable. And then we have another Christmas present because my friends are extremely generous. This was from Keisha, but she got me The House with Chicken Legs by Sophie Anderson. I am obsessed with this cover. Like, this cover is so pretty. I can't handle it. And it's just like, oh, the foiling, this cover is like, it's like chef's kiss. It's so good. I don't really know what this one is about. Like, I really don't. I think it might be some type of like Russian folklore, but I might have that wrong. I haven't read the synopsis and I'm not going to. But there's a house and it has chicken legs, so it's obviously like got like a magical realism, fantasy aspect. I don't know if the whole book is fantasy or if it's partly historical fiction. I literally don't know. Going in pretty blind with this one, but the cover has me and my friends have said good things about it, and I tend to enjoy things that they recommend, so I trust them, and hopefully I get to this one this month. This is definitely one that I'm like extra excited about, but maybe it's just the gold foiling that's like, I just want to open it up and read it. And now we're starting to near the end of this pile of possibilities, but this is Anne of Avonlea. It's the second book in the Anne of Green Gables series. I don't like to read the backs of books, you guys know this, which makes me really terrible at my job on here. But anyway, this is the next book in the Anne series, and I'm hoping to get to it. I would like to read at least half the series this year, but we shall see. I really loved the first one, so I have pretty high expectations, but I also know that when the series is this long, there's going to be stronger books and weaker books, and I have no idea which ones are generally which, so I'm going in blind, I'm going in hopeful. I hope that I enjoy it. I have a feeling that I'm just going to love the whole series. But yeah, not a lot to say about this one, but this is definitely on the pile. And then last but not least, I feel like this one has been, I don't know if I've had it in a TBR yet or not. It's definitely been in a book haul, but I don't know if I've put it in a TBR yet. This is Bridge to Terabithia by Catherine Patterson. And I have seen this movie, which is maybe why I'm not as like inclined to pick it up like first or anything, but I did throw it in the pile because I did enjoy the movie, so obviously I know what happens, but I still think that the book is gonna just completely rip my heart out. So anyway, this is a story about a boy who is bullied, and then I need to read the book for a refresher. I just remember the big sad that happens in the movie. That's really all I remember. But as far as I know, he is bullied, and then him and this little girl become friends, and that's about all I know, or at least all I can say that I know without being spoilery. But it's quite short, so I have a feeling that if I pick this up, I'll end up being able to read it really fast, and I do want to get to it because my son did have a bit of an issue with bullying in school when he was still going to school, and I would like to read this before he does, just to make sure that it's okay for him to read, like, because he's only 8, so I'm not sure exactly what age level this is at. But anyway, this is the last book that I have on the stack. I feel like this one is quite well loved, and it's quite short, so it's definitely probably one that I can sneak in somewhere along the way, hopefully, but we shall see. Alright friends, that's everything that I've got for today's video. I hope you enjoyed my little possibility pile. Are there any books in here that you really, really loved, or that you're planning on reading, or any books that you want to share with me that you are planning on reading that weren't in this stack? Leave all that down below. I love talking to you guys, and I've been really bad at responding to comments lately. Normally, just a little side note, normally I tend to respond to previous comments when I upload a new video, but my uploads are more sporadic, my replies are more sporadic, but I do promise that I will try and catch up to everybody that I missed, because I miss you guys, and I have not been super on top of my online presence, if you will. But anyway, while you're down there, if you leave a comment, I would love it if you subscribed if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you don't miss future notifications. I am going to try and start uploading twice a week again, but I'm easing into it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being patient with me and for sticking around on the channel. I appreciate you all, and I feel like I don't say that very often, but I do. Anyway, I will talk to you guys all in my next video. Thanks again.